Tyson Fury's camp have made an offer to AJ's camp for the two of them to fight. And the offer would be a 60-40 split, which Simon thinks is more than fair to Anthony Joshua. I'm delighted to say, joining us live this lunchtime is Tyson Fury. Tyson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys. How are we?
All good, mate. Thank you.
We're very well. Danny Murphy is with Simon and myself. So listen, are you comfortable now in the knowledge that it would be a 60-40 split? And Simon says that's more than generous to AJ.
Yes, I think it's more than generous. I didn't want to go in and start offering them 20% like they would have done to me. However, I really want this fight to happen. As Usyk, the little middleweight, don't want no smoke like I thought he didn't. And now I'm going after AJ. I've already beat Wilder. There's only one other person, and that's AJ, the bodybuilder. So why not give him his 40%, give him no excuses, and let's get the fight made for the British public. The Battle of Britain, who's going to take it, me or him?
And you think there's only one winner, and that would be you, Tyson. I mean, it's not a lot of recovery time for Joshua following his defeat to Usyk, or is it?
Well, he only had a sparring contest, didn't he? He's 12-round match fit. He's match fit, 12-round, coming off a training camp. However, I have seen that they're trying to wriggle a little bit with the dates because we had Manchester United football ground booked for the 12th of November. However, they're saying that's too short. So what I have got, even better than that, is Wembley Stadium booked for the 26th of November of this year. And if he doesn't want to go to Wembley at the end of November, I even have a December date for him, the 3rd of December at Cardiff. So take your little pick, Dosser.
So you're bringing it.
There's no room for wriggling.
You're bringing us a whole bunch of breaking news here, right? Okay, Tyson. Let's break it down then. You're offering Wembley on November the 26th, and if that doesn't suit the AJ camp, you're offering Cardiff on December the 3rd.
Yes, a weekend.
So there's no way out for him as far as you're concerned. Those would be the proposed dates.
There are two dates, and both dates are available, and I've agreed to both of them. And if they're no good, he does not want this fight.
Correct.
So what's your hunch? What is the initial reaction coming out of AJ's camp, Tyson? Is he still with us? We'll get Tyson back.
He's still here.
Go on, Tyson. What are you hearing from his camp?
Oh, they've come back and said the split's more than generous, as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's good. They're just saying, we want December. So I have the 26th of November, Wembley, the only time it's available. Or I have the 3rd of December. One of them's 11 weeks, one's 12. So if a professional athlete who's shredded all year round can't get himself in shape in 3 months, there's a problem.
Do you have a preference which one, Tyson, yourself?
Preferably, I prefer November, the 26th of November at Wembley, Capital Stadium, 90-odd thousand people. Or December 3rd will be a goal for me as well. Both of these dates have worked for me. And if he doesn't want to do that on any of them dates, then I have another date booked in November, which I will be fighting on.
The weather might play a part, though, mightn't it, Tyson? And the fact that Cardiff has got a fully loadable stadium, a roof, gives you a situation where you don't affect the audience by being able to pack it full.
However, but for the biggest fight in British boxing history, a little rain never hurt anybody.
No, I agree. I mean, I think you've done everything that you need to do. My understanding is that they're very keen to take this fight, and it's just about the date. And their date preference was December. And if you've given them what you're doing is you're boxing them into a corner, metaphorically and literally. You're putting them into a situation where, okay, we're taking the money off the table. We're not going to take the mickey out of you and make it 80-20 or 75-25. We're going to offer you a proper grown-up offer you can't refuse, which probably is the position. We're now going to give you the date. There is no real reason for Anthony Joshua not to take this fight. Now, I wanted to ask you, Tyson, what's made you change your mind, or what's making you give him an opportunity now? Because you're giving him an opportunity here.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Considering I've come back, I'm out of retirement now officially.
Yep.
Then the middleweight guy called me out on TV, said he wanted me to come back out of retirement, all this, yeah? So then, when I've said to the middleweight, let's rock and roll, December or November, whenever you want it, they said, we don't want no smoke. We want to fight you next year. We don't want to do this year. because he's injured or whatever. I'm not really too concerned about why. However, he is a no play time for Usyk at the moment. So then I thought, I've already beat Wilder twice, and he's busy anyway. Why not give it to Joshua? The guy's he's lost his last fight, but he's still a big star, and he's a big name. So who better to fight than me and him in this country and give the fans what they want after all this time?
Well, I think people accuse me of being a fanboy for you. I'm not. I'm critical of you at times, but I'm an admirer of yours. I think this makes a fight happen. I think you've made a fight happen, and you're absolutely right. As I said at the beginning of this conversation, you've put him in a corner now. You wouldn't have been offered this, Tyson. If the boot was on the other side of the boot was on the foot, you'd have been offered 80-20 or 75-25 or maybe at best 70-30. You've taken away the argument now.
Yeah, there's no argument. He either wants this fight or he doesn't. Now, the only room they had to wriggle was we had United booked at the 12th of November.
Yeah.
So it was like, we want December, we want this a bit later on. So now we have Wembley, Capital City Stadium booked the last Saturday in November, the 26th. Or if the dead set on a December date, you can go a week later at Cardiff on the 3rd.
Is there any little thing you can think of that they might put in the way of this happening? Is there anything you can think of that you can't get covered? Not that you should have to, but like an excuse or something that's not...
No, I don't think so. He's not injured. He's coming off a 12-round fight. He's fit. He's just out of training camp for the Usyk fight. He's got 3 months preparation, 11 or 12 weeks for a fight.
Yeah.
He's getting 40% of a massive amount. What else? He's got loads of picks of different dates. So there's no real reason why it doesn't happen, only for the fact that if he doesn't feel like he's up to the task, or he thinks he needs a couple of fights coming back after a loss or whatever, I'm not too sure what's going on in his mind. However, the opportunity's there, and it won't be after this, will it?
No.
Because I will be busy fighting Usyk for the Undisputed Championship for the next year.
Tyson, stay on the line for a moment. We're absolutely thrilled that you like to join us in this fashion as you do on our show. Stay on the line. This is what Bellew said to this proposed 60-40 split.
AJ's the biggest draw in the heavyweight division. I'm sorry to say it, guys. It doesn't matter if he's lost twice or not. He's still the biggest draw. There's a reason why he does what he does. Yes, he's coming off the back of 2 defeats. But why is the best fighter in the world calling his name? Why does he want to face him? You've got to ask that question. And when you start putting out offers and saying, I'll give you 60-40, I'm not being funny, guys, but people like Conor McGregor, people like Anthony Joshua, they don't bow to other people's demands because the draw they bring is so big.
Did that surprise you, Tyson, what Bellew said?
No, because Bellew's a fanboy for AJ, isn't he? He's on AJ's hoo-ha. I'm not even going to say it on the radio where he's sitting. He's quite high up on AJ's hoo-ha. So let's say, why is the best fighter in the world, which he knows is me, calling out AJ? I'll tell you why, Bellew. Because the other little guy who just beat your bodybuilding mate, Usyk, doesn't want no smoke with the Gypsy King. He's come out and said that publicly. I do not want to fight Tyson until next year. So, Tyson's already beat the other guy in America twice, KO'd. I don't know if you've seen it or not. The killer over there. So then who's better now to fight than AJ? Now, Bellew saying, people like Anthony Joshua sell out thingies. Who does he think he's talking to? I've got the highest attending crowd in the history of the UK. 94,000 people at Wembley on my own. However, AJ and his mate, Eddie Earn, are both happy with the 40%.
Yeah, I bet they are.
So, Tyson, you're saying to us, it could well be at Wembley on the 26th of November. It could well be in Cardiff on the 3rd of December. So, tell us about the fight itself. Do you knock him out? Do you stop him? And I've got to be impartial here, Tyson. Does Joshua beat you? Is there any way you can see Joshua beating you? Any way at all?
To be honest with you, the two big giant heavyweights in the ring. Yeah? Anything can happen at any given moment when you've got two men as big as we are, swinging at each other. However, I've always said what happens when I fight Joshua. He gets cleaned out quite, I'd say within 6 or 7 rounds, if he lasts that long.
What did you make of his performance? Because I think he was markedly better in a second fight. I mean, you'll say it's a sparring session. It was a little bit more than that. But he was markedly better in the second fight against Usyk, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he put a bit more pressure on. He just kept walking forward. Usyk wasn't able to hurt him. he was less vulnerable in this fight because he kept his hands up and kept walking forward a bit more. He did a bit better in the fight. I will definitely admit that. However, he needed to do that times 5, what he did, to get the win over Usyk. And I'll prove that when I fight him next year. Be an easy fight. I've said it time and time again. But, you can't slate somebody. Just because they lose to a guy, they lose to a better man on the night, doesn't mean that they can't. Styles make fights, you know. And just because he's a southpaw slick guy at 6'3", he can't land punches on him, doesn't mean it's going to be the same with me and him. I'm 6'9", 270 pounds. He's 6'6", and 250.
But he's better than Deontay Wilder, though, isn't he?
Excuse me?
He's come on, Tyson. Anthony Joshua's better than Deontay Wilder.
Who is this speaking? Is this Simon Jordan speaking?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Behave yourself, Simon.
Come on. Give credit where credit's due. He's a better fighter than Deontay Wilder. He may not hit as hard as Deontay Wilder, but he's a better fighter.
Put him away here, Tyson.
I'm getting confused. Who are we talking about? Usyk or Joshua?
I'm talking about Anthony. I'm talking about AJ. We're talking about the experience of what you're going against someone that's got power. Usyk is a different dynamic. He's a boxer. Anthony Joshua is a fighter. Right. So Deontay Wilder, you're going to fight a better fighter in Anthony Joshua than you fought in Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder put you on your backside.
No way. Wilder KOs AJ in 2 rounds.
Really?
So how can he be a better fighter? Tell me that.
Well, I'm asking you. I think he's a better fighter, but I'm asking you because your expertise is far more compelling than mine.
Yes, exactly.
So you think Deontay Wilder is a better fighter, a better all-round fighter than Anthony Joshua?
I don't think there's anybody in the world other than yourself who believes that Joshua could beat Wilder in a fight. No way. Wilder puts his fist through AJ as soon as he lands on him. And he's not that difficult to land on, is he? I don't know if you're aware of that.
Okay.
He's very vulnerable to
No, that's not the point I'm making, Tyson. I'm talking about the challenge that you've got. You've done Deontay Wilder. He's done, right? They're making a noise in the background that if he beats Robert Helenius and beats...
better man than Wilder, and I disagree with you completely.
Listen,
like Tony Bellew on this one.
Regardless of all that,
Tony Bellew.
Tyson, regardless of all that, let's finish with this. It could well be that Joshua is listening this lunchtime now that he knows he's on with you, me and Simon. What's your message to Joshua?
Take the fight, Dosser, and get yourself knocked stark out in front of the British public and the world. And the next time he sees me in a ring, he'll be looking up off his back.
Tyson, we want to thank you as always for joining us. What is about talkSPORT? Honestly, you love it, don't you? Thank you so much for joining us.
I do love it. However, I don't like Simon Jordan's comments about Wilder is worse than...
by the way, Tyson, I've just received a message from Frank Warren telling me the same thing as you, which is shut up, Wilder's a much better fighter.
Tyson, thank you for joining us.
More expertise than yourself saying it. Get up there!
Tyson Fury with us live this lunchtime. So you heard it for us first. The proposal to Joshua is that the fight would be at Wembley on the 26th of November. If not that, Cardiff on the 3rd of December. And Tyson confident that AJ will say yes.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.